Ang programang magbibigay daan upang talakayin ang mga isyung may kinalaman sa ating karapatan bilang mga Pinoy sa Britanya. Kwentong nagpapalakas ng loob at bubuhay ng bawat pangarap upang ang tagumpay ay makamtan tungo sa magandang kinabukasan.
Mga balita at kwentong kapupulutan ng aral na magsisilbing gabay para sa ating mga kababayan. Legal na usapin, hihimayin upang lubos na manawaan, tamang gabay maaring mailaan.
Balitang walang kikilingan, bawat isa magkakaroon ng boses sa dapat pakinggan, mga isyong dapat masolusyonan. Mga usaping pilit iniiwasang pag-usapan at harapin, sisikapin naming abutin sa ngalan ng katotohanan, pagkakaisa at kapayapaan.
Mga kwentuhang pakikipagkapwa-tao, pagtutulungan at pagkakaisa bilang mga Pinoy sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Britanya, bayanihan at kumustahang magbibigay inspirasyon sa ating mga kababayan.
Ganda ng buong Britanya ang hatid namin sa inyo. Pasyalang kagigiliwan, kwentong simple, pero kapupulutan ng aral. Biyahe, lakwatsa, at kwentuhan, tiyak mag-e-enjoy kayo.
Iba't ibang kwento ng buhay, nais naming isalaysay na aral ng buhay ang tangi naming inaasam.
Sa bawat larangan, angat kakabayan, talino at galing ng Pinoy, hinangaan at may magpangmalaki sa buong Britanya.
Mula sa salaysay ng bawat buhay, kwentong palasyo patungong paraiso, hatid namin ang saya, inspirasyon at galak sa lahat ng Pinoy sa buong Britanya.
Galing ng Pinoy sa mangdako ng mundo, nag-iwan ng marka sa larangan ng industriya.
Mula sa Pinoy, para sa Pinoy, sa Britanya.
Ako si Amy Baliao.
Babu Gamboa.
Carol Panday.
Rapa.
Susan Pelaez Robinson.
To ang Britanya ngayon, laban lang! Magandang gabi Pilipinas, magandang umaga. Magandang gabi Pilipinas at magandang hapon ang London, UK. Saan mang bahagi kayo ng mundo, samahan nyo kami sa Halalan 2022 Me Talks. Our Millennials will talk and will share with their thoughts while we prepare for the upcoming presidential election this May. They will walk us through on what's their opinion is all about. And of course, a special segment of Rolls of Sea, we will have Robbie Ramos as we listen to him of why we should vote for the person he is campaigning. This is going to be a mind-blowing.
The Millennials, also known as Generation Y or Gen Y, are the demographic cohort following Generation X and preceding Generation Z. In the UK, these are the population that we need to top because their potential are enormous. We will have Averil Watton, a millennial born and raised in the United Kingdom.
Millennials have been described as the first global generation and the first generation that grew up in the internet age.
That's correct, yes.
The generation is generally marked by elevated usage and familiarity with the internet, mobile devices, and social media, which is why they are sometimes termed global natives. Digital native, sorry. A millennial who came to the UK to be with her husband and raising their young family will have Nina Carpio Reyes.
Millennials are well-educated, skilled in technology, very self-confident, able to multitask, and have plenty of energy. They have high expectation for themselves and are prepared to work in a teams rather than as individuals. Millennials seek the challenges, yet work-life balance of utmost importance to them.
In the Philippines, it should be 1/3 of the population is made up of millennials and Gen Z, who are 15 to 35 years old. Millennials are now aged 25 onwards. Anything below is Gen Z. Completing the lineup of our panelists, we have May Jens Umayam, who came in the UK just before she turned 18. What's in her mind? Will participating in the electorate make a difference? We will find out.
Ako si Amy Balyao.
Babu Gamboa.
Carol Panday.
Rapa.
Susan Pelaez Robinson.
Ito ang Britanya ngayon, laban lang!
With BC Remit, sending money to the Philippines is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Launch the app and click the sign up button to get started. Enter your email address, create a secure password, and click Create Account. To ensure that we get your money safely to your beneficiaries, we are going to need a few details. Enter the necessary information, then choose your preferred delivery option. Finally, enter the amount you want to send. Choose your payment method and press send. It's that simple. Secure, fast, convenient. Send money to the Philippines now for as low as $2.99. Send love the BC Remit way.
Hello, ayan, pakaway-kaway pa si Amy. Ang hirap talaga ng live. Ano
Kasi
ba?
kaya kami kumakaway.
Oh,
Kasi may mga
kaway-kaway.
dumarating na guest.
Oo.
As
Pasen-
usual, Filipino, always on time.
Yeah.
Diba?
Oo, kasi na-notify na kami ng Facebook. Bakit daw hindi pa kami pumapasok? 2 o'clock na. Kaya
But
sabi ko,
before anything
come on.
else, Carol, we would
Oh.
like to welcome, of course, our guests and
The
our
Millennials.
panelists. And they
Okay.
came all the way from different parts of United Kingdom.
Wow.
Parang dito na sila sa Cubao, no?
Ay, Madam, excuse me, the Millennials.
Oh, the Millennials.
The Millennials,
Oh,
oh.
Kaya tayo nandito sa Tower Hotel kasi this is our second series
Yeah.
ng
Yes.
Halalan.
Yes.
The first one was on the 29th of January, and this was also held here. So ngayon, this is our second Halalan series, which is all about
The Millennials.
The Millennials.
Okay.
And we talks.
Sandali
Yan.
lang ha.
Oh,
Kasi
ano?
alam mo, sa totoo lang, ipapaliwalag natin mamaya. Kasi the millennial is a word that is very controversial when it is being defined. Okay?
Oo, saan ba ako defined dyan?
Meron, ewan ko ba,
Graduate
undefined
na
ka ata. Ito,
ako sa
ikaw ano ka? Sandali.
Millennials.
Ito, undefined.
No, sa gitna ako. Gitna.
Hindi. Actually, when I was still a young people or a youth person, sabi ng United Nations, youth should be up until 40 years old. I don't know if they changed that. Hi, Ayla. Okay?
Ay, kasama ako doon.
Oo. Unfortunately, si Tita Nilda hindi nakasama.
Ganon.
Jen, ano ba si Tita Nilda? Baby boomer yan. Okay.
Pasok ako dyan.
Pasok ka ba?
Gen
O, sige.
Saan ka papasok?
Sa Millennials, sabi nga po.
O sige ha. Ano lang to, fluid lang to. Makikita nyo kung paano kayo mag-change ng segment ngayon ha. O sige.
Okay.
Kasi aalis kami, matitira si Susan tsaka si
Amy.
Amy
Amy.
Balyao.
O bati muna, pagbigyan natin, Babo, bati sa mga fans mo.
Oh,
Go.
wow. Oy, naku,
May fans
nagkakagulo na yata. Hindi mga millennials. Hi everyone, and lalo na sa mga out there.
O sige na, tapos na siya. O Rafa, mga
Hello. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat at maraming salamat po sa inyong pagtutok sa Britanya ngayon. Our topic today is Millennial Talks. Yeah. Thank you.
Ang ganda ng foundation ni Rafa.
Thank you sa sponsor.
Sino ang sponsor?
Madam Susan.
Siyempre, because it's millennial talk, kaya naka-millennial ako. Okay ba ang outfit natin? Millennial na millennial.
Millennial.
Hindi
Oo.
naman halata sa mukha, pero sa outfit na lang ako bumawi. Of course, we would like to welcome our guests, Filipino, English, whoever. Nandito po tayo sa Tower Hotel and we're live at Guman Hotel in London at St. Catherine's Dock. So we will be here until hanggang matapos ang Meet Talks.
O sige, si Amy naman.
Okay. Magandang hapon, United Kingdom, and magandang gabi, Pilipinas. Yung mga taga-Pilipinas po, yung mga taga-Norte.
Wow!
Ayan. Taga-Pangasinan.
Parang may kinakampanya ha. Naku.
Sampol.
Taga-Baguio City. Taga-Mountain Province.
O sige na, sabi ng
Nandito ang
Facebook.
Igorot UK, okay?
Sabi ng Facebook, 2:15 na. O sige, aalis kami ha.
Alis tayo. So,
Alis tayo.
And we would, while you're
Exiting.
we would like to welcome our 3 panelists, of
Okay.
course. Si,
Yes.
O sige, para maganda, pag tawagin niyo sila, tumayo na kayong dalawa. Parang
ganun ba
tayo
yun?
kayong dalawa. O tayo lahat.
Okay.
Sandali, huwag mo nang i-focus kasi yung Rayoma.
Ayan,
Talaga
ladies
naman
and
yung
gentlemen,
rayuma mo.
We are trying to
O sige,
reposition ourselves.
Okay, position
Thank you
yourself.
very much,
Dito ka,
Babo.
Amy.
And,
Ito naman dalawa, umalis agad. Wala pang ang cue.
okay.
O, sige.
Ayan.
O.
And, of course, we would
Tatawagin ko ipapalit sa akin,
Oh, sige,
yung upo sa
sige.
gitna.
Mhm.
Let's welcome ang kapitapitagan from Igorot, UK, Miss Averil Puten-Watan.
Yay!
We can. Yeah.
Telephone ako, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Avril.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay. So, sorry, Aver, kunin ko muna yung telepono ko.
Oo, nagkakagulo sa studio.
On the middle natin.
Of course. And
And the next one, you can see them. And the next one is Nina
Carpio Reyes. Ayan. Woohoo! Okay. Dito, ayan.
Yan.
Nawala siya kanina pero she found us.
Yes.
Anyway, the next millennial panelist is, of course, itong pinaka-millennial talaga eh. She's none other than Miss May Umayan. May Jens Umayan. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
ayan.
Ayan. Okay.
Okay.
Shall we take a seat?
So, yes.
Thank you. Welcome, ladies. Teka muna, napansin ko, Amy, puro babae dito ah. Parang ladies,
Just
empowerment.
Yes, because on March 8 is the Women's International Day, kaya inuumpisahan na natin. Inuumpisahan na natin ang empowerment ng mga kababaihan.
Okay, first of all, Amy, we would like to ask our panelists, and
Yes.
maybe they want to say something, introduce themselves, and welcome welcome themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
But before we do that, I'm just going to explain why it's Me Talk and why it's Millennials. And because this series is something unique and special. Because our panelists will not talk about their preferred presidential candidates. Rather, they will discuss their views of what they perceive or think of the criteria of a leader based on their own capacity and experience.
Okay, of course, the panelists come from different backgrounds
Yes.
and walks of life, no? So Avril was born and raised in the UK, am I right?
That's correct. Yes.
And then May, of course, she came to the UK with her family, with her, of course, her parents, as a teenager when you were 9 years old, you know?
Yeah.
And then she's of course, the daughter of an immigrant. And Nina, on my right, she's married to a British citizen, Filipino-British citizen, no?
Yes.
And she spent her teenage life in the Philippines, in Bataan.
Yes.
Ayan, thank you. How about a big hand of applause for the panelists, please? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ayan.
And,
Okay.
And Miss Susan, you know that there is one thing that they have been they have in common.
Oh, really?
They are yes.
Aside from being women.
Yes, of course. And aside from being beautiful,
Uh-huh.
okay, they're all exposed to Filipino tradition, ethics, and culture. So, ito yung mga millennials na mga Filipino, kababaihang Pilipino.
Ayan. Okay.
Diba?
Should we ask them to say hello to our viewers?
Yes, of
Okay.
course. Okay.
May, would you like to say hello to our viewers sa Pilipinas? Sa buong Pilipinas, across the UK, and globally?
Good morning for UK and good evening, Philippines.
She's very mahiyain.
Yes.
Okay. Kasi talaga millennial. How old are you, if may I ask?
22 po.
22. Okay.
Kasi
Okay.
edad ko lang ba?
Oo, parang ganun lang.
Parang lang. I'm dreaming, Susan.
Okay. So May, say hello to your parents. Kay Florence and Daddy.
Nanonood sana kayo.
I'm sure nanonood sila. Okay. And next is Avril.
Avril.
Yeah, my
Yes.
name is Averil Watan. I'm a second generation Igorot Filipino born here in the UK. Very proud and very happy to be here today. Thank
I'm
you.
sure we are very, very happy to we're very happy to have you here as well. Kasi alam namin, can you still speak Tagalog or can you still understand Tagalog?
No, unfortunately, I
Oh, we
think
can still-
I'm a generation where
Yeah.
my parents came in that
Do you
time.
speak Tagalog in the household? No?
No, they speak, but we just
Ilocano. Right.
That much, yes.
Okay. So we're very happy to have you here in spite of your schedule. I know you work in NHS, right?
Oh, in a care home. I
In a
manage
care home.
A care home. yes.
Okay. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Okay. Business, huh? Of course. None other than our Miss Nina.
Tagalog.
Tagalog,
Oo.
oo.
Dahil ako isang proud na Pilipino, gusto ko kayong batiin ng isang mainit, dahil putok ang araw ngayon sa Britanya. Magandang tanghali po o hapon sa lahat ng mga tiga Britanya o Inglaterra. At sa lahat ng mga kababayan namin sa Pilipinas, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, they're all watching, especially mga tiga Bataan, mga tiga Bataenyos. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. At inaanyayahan po namin kayo na tumutok ngayong araw na ito sa Britanya ngayon.
Talagang Pinoy na Pinoy ang dating ni Miss Nina. That's what I like, no? Because you still, in spite of being in the UK for quite some time, you still speak your own language.
Yes.
And I'm sure, Averil, you're from Igorot, no? Can you speak your own language, your national, your dialect?
No, I mean, it's slightly different from my experience because when our parents came in the 70s, 80s, when they spoke to us in our language, they were told to, when we went to school, they were told by the school at the time, don't speak to us in our language because you won't understand. It's a different experience for people now.
Yeah.
They've got their children, bilingualism is supported, equality and all of that. But in the 80s when we were being raised, it was a completely different experience. So there's a generation of second generation Filipinos like myself who did lose that language. And unfortunate for us, we do try to understand the mother tongue. So we hear it at home, but there's been a loss of that language.
Yeah.
But it's not that we're not proud. We are
Yeah.
still very much proud to be Filipino. We still celebrate our culture in every other way. But
Yes.
That's why we are here, no? We would like to speak about, we would like to talk about that culture.
Yeah, and
Okay.
celebrating about culture, I just want to congratulate the Igorot UK, which is Averil is one of the trustee of the Igorot UK, that they received the Presidential Award, Banaag Award 2021. Congratulations, Igorot UK. Woo! Yeah, 26 years. Is it 26 years in
26
history?
years,
That,
yeah.
I remember in when I was young, I can't remember that year, but actually, Averil's parents are the founding for the Igorot UK. They are the one. Kasi nung ako'y maliit pa, nandito ako, kasama ako doon na pumupunta sa Igorot UK.
Wow, ang galing naman ng instrument. But we're here to talk about me talks, millennial talk.
Yes.
Kasi even though they were not born in the Philippines, kasi ang topic natin today is about halalan. So we would like to ask questions, no?
Yes.
Ang bawat isa sa inyo. Ano ba ang, what do you think about, how would you define
A leader.
the leader?
Yeah, a leader.
The leader of the country. So are you aware of, I don't know, are you a voter? No, no, not yet pa. Okay. But how would you define a leader of the country?
I mean, I think the definition of leader itself is someone who leads a group of people. So I think what a true leader defines to be is someone who has a clear vision, someone who has already laid out all of their plans and would just need some people to follow them. And a true leader would have to have integrity, someone who has a good moral, someone who can lead people into following that vision. Because if, for example, in a country, in leading a country, being a leader in a country, you have to be able to get everyone together. You can't have divided opinions. You can't have of course division in some aspect is good, but like as a country itself, you have to make decisions as one. So I think it takes one leader to really really get to know what everyone wants, be in the same page.
Right.
And I think a leader is someone who does it with them, not just watches. So okay, let me just have these people do things for me, but it's someone who actually delegates a task, but does it with them, does something at the same time, not just watching from their presidential office or something like that.
Yeah.
So who lead an example,
Yes.
who participate with them.
Yes.
Okay. Shall we ask Averil, what's your opinion, or how would you define the leader?
just expanding upon
Of course,
my
yes.
colleague there. I mean, absolutely. I think key is to be a good listener as well. An effective communicator would be to be listening, to be a good listener and building key relationships. So we're talking about everyone has a different opinion,
Yes,
but
yes.
being able to really listen to everyone's opinion and bring those opinions together. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, even though we came from different backgrounds, we still have different opinions. So, yun ang,
Exactly. And to respect all those opinions
Yes, right.
in a
Yes.
respectful way.
Yes.
matanong naman natin si Miss Nina, ang taga-Bataan. Anong masasabi mo as a leader? Paano ano natin dyan?
Para sa akin, ang tunay na isang leader ay may magiting na hangarin sa isang bansa. Muna, mahal niya ang bansa niya. He loves or she loves the country. And proud siya na kung saan siya nanggaling. Pilipino ako, proud ako, at mamahalin ko ang Pilipinas na may malinis na pamamalakad, liderato. At yung leader na hindi nakikinig sa, alam mo yung hindi mo siya mamamanipulate. Leader who is really very straightforward sa vision and mission. Na ang mission is how ang Pilipinas ay isang napakagandang bansa, mayaman na bansa. Hindi lang tayo nagkakaroon ng pagkakaisa-isa. We are not really that united. So I hope sa pagpili natin ng isang leader, yung gayang sinabi nila, both of them really has a good point of when you're picking or choosing a leader. First, may naniniwala ito na meron siya, he's a God-fearing leader as well. Because I do believe that, above all, the most powerful leader is God the Father. And above all, when you have that, and meron kang prinsipyo, panindigan, dignidad, malinis na record, alam mo yung walang kahit anong bakas ng kurakot, alam mo yun, malinis na pamamalakad sa mga makaranasan sa pagiging leader, at may puso sa mga, higit sa lahat, sa mga mahihirap. May puso magbigay, at may puso magbigay, at may puso siya na yung pantay-pantay na pagtingin mula doon sa pinaka, sa ibaba, at hanggang doon sa pinaka.
O interpretin mo yan, Amy. Sa mga English, ano natin? How would you interpret that?
It has to be fair and justly.
Ayan.
Simple.
Haba ng sinabi ni Nina, iksi ng interpretation mo. Okay, so
That's
anong
simple.
next question natin, Amy?
Okay, the second question natin, si Averil naman ngayon. April's the one who's going to answer this first, okay? So, you define the leader, what is a good leader or what is a leader. So how would this criteria influence your decision, or your decision when you're voting for a leader?
Well, it definitely informs, aside from their platform or their ideas or their manifesto, I think all of these things that we're talking about, integrity, communication, faith, all of these value sets and principles will be, how they're behaving, how they're responding. All of that, I think, adds the flavor to what they say. And for me, as an electorate, I'd be looking for: are they really exemplifying those values? Are they really behaving in the way that they say that they are? And are the interests really aligned with the country and with what I believe in?
Yes.
That's
Yeah. Okay, and May?
I think just another addition to her point is just it's a matter of respect. You respect what your country believes in. You respect what other people believe in, and yeah. So can you just repeat the question?
Yeah,
You describe a leader earlier. What's your so these criteria? Does it influence your decision when you're voting for a leader? You describe what is a leader. So does these criteria that you mentioned earlier?
Yes.
Could it influence when you're voting for a leader?
Yes, I mean, we're not really here to debate who our candidates are, but
No,
of course. So
general,
in general, it does definitely take up a big impact on my decision making, whoever I want to vote. So I think it's in voting, you just need to see someone like integrity. You need to know if what you want for the country, because obviously I wasn't raised there for most of my life, but most of my family are there. I want to be able to give them I want them to be able to have the life that similar to what I have in the UK, which is a disciplined country, a country that has visions, a country that works as one.
Yes.
So for me, it's when you're voting a leader, you have to you have to have someone that has this vision for a good future, someone who wants to be able to rise with you, not just because they want to say in words, because they want to say in pretty words. They want to be able to put action into it because they want to be the same. They want to be able to be in the same wavelength as this country that we live in.
Correct. Yes. And
How about Nina? How would you, would you like to add something on what they have mentioned earlier?
Yes, it's a big impact. Really, it's a big impact because yung choice mo and your criteria and your guidelines and your checklist of who leader you want to vote. And as a dual citizen here in the UK, I have Filipino passport and British passport. It's very important as well as Filipinos to apply the dual passport if in the future for you to vote.
Yes.
I voted the first time I voted this was during the last presidential vote during 2016. It's very important because it's whoever you want in your heart. In your heart. I think when that particular presidential or leader that you voted won, you have a really big part of it.
Yes.
That achievement that, for example, they've won. But I voted for President Duterte. And when he won, it was like, for me, it's a remarkable, for me, I'm very proud that I must say I'm a Filipino. So it's a big impact, really, that you have the criteria, and that criteria is you. It reflects who you are as well.
Yes.
It reflects who you are.
So it's very important for you to engage
Yes. Yes.
on your civic rights.
Yes.
Yes.
And since I am born and raised in the Philippines,
Yes,
I
of
came here when I was 27 years old.
Yes.
I've seen and I know how hard it is in life in the third world country.
Yes.
That you have to work hard, you have to study hard, and even though at least you need a very good leader.
Yes.
A leader who can this poverty, this stigma of some other countries about Filipinos. So now I hope that every Filipinos in every part of the world,
Yes.
they should also prioritize to register.
Yes.
Have a Filipino
Yes.
passport as well.
Okay.
If we have
It's
that.
the same thing. It's the same thing here in the United Kingdom. That it's very important for us to because if you're a British citizen, it's very important for us to vote. Whether that's national election
Yes.
or local election, because you have the right to say I vote for you, and this is your platform. You should abide. You should action that. You should address that.
Okay.
And it's not only Philippines or but as a person who is citizen in whatever country you are in, your vote is very important when there is a national or local election.
So Amy, I just want to add this question because I think we only have very limited time, no?
Okay.
So as a millennials, how would you influence our co-Filipinos? How would you influence them? Let's vote for this particular leader or kung sino man ang leader na gusto nyo na pupusuan. How would you influence them? How would you tell, or what do you want to tell about?
Like from learning from these two.
Yes.
I think first thing I need to do is to have a dual citizenship next time.
Okay, dual citizenship.
So
That's very important.
Yeah, I only have British passport, so that's one thing I need to do. Is at first. Second is like I need to learn different campaigns. I need to know the very history of each campaigns of each candidate. I need to know if you can't be easily manipulated. That's the thing. Like you can't just be like hearing this and like, okay, I'm going to change my mind because I've heard this information about this person. So you have to know in your own initiative, you have to know what you really want to have in the president. You need to know what their history is. You need to know the information from your own understanding.
Yes.
And third is that you have to really, really be passionate about it. You need to have the same vision as this president. So presidential candidate. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, May and Avril.
It's the same thing. I'd have to become a dual citizen. And actually, to that point, I have been trying. It's just that we can't get an appointment now in the embassy to get
Really?
to make our second passport.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so touching, really, when I tried it, when I've experienced it 5 years, before the 2016. I was really crying in the embassy. I don't know, for some reason, all of us, I think we're about 5 people there. And when you're having the oath taking, makes you feel like, oh,
Wow.
I forgot, for some reason, we forgot that we are all Filipinos. And the bottom line here is now, when you're facing the flag, and when you're standing there, and when you're having that oath, when you're taking that oath again, it was like, it's a goosebump, really, like, it's very emotional for everyone. I don't know, for some reason. And really, you have to feel that way.
That's very totoo yan, ah.
Yeah.
Kailangan talaga maging dual citizenship. Okay? nananawagan ng Philippine Embassy, kailangan tutok na tayo sa Philippine Embassy and dual citizenship application.
Yes, so that you have
Okay.
the right to complain.
Yeah.
Kasi otherwise, pagtapos na ang election and then said, ganito, bumoto ka ba? Hindi po. Mag-registered ka. That's what they called it. Di ba, Ms. Susan?
Oo, tama na yun. And at the end of the day, talagang boboto tayo kasi karapatan natin yan
Correct.
It is our own right to
Yes.
vote. Dahil tayong mga millennials, ano?
Kasama ako
Lapos
na.
na ako doon. Yun talagang importante.
Correct.
Oo. Okay, Miss Amy.
So,
I think we have to
are we going to have a
asan ang technical director?
are we going to have a what you call this? Are we going to have a pause in here and then we'll bring our next
Well, I think
candidate and then
Amy-
we will continue, or we'll
Yeah,
just continue?
I think
again?
we should ask them each one of them ano ang kailangan nilang sabihin,
Yes.
what's your message sa mga millennials na tulad ninyo, how to become what do you call this, a good citizen, mga millennials, paano ang gagawin ninyo na ano mga programa ninyo, what do you think your program should be para you can influence the Filipino community?
Yes. If
Avery, would you like to say something about it?
Yeah, just to remind ourselves that, the Philippines has one of the oldest democracies in Asia,
Yes.
and that we should take great pride in that. And an act of taking great pride is to exercise that right to vote. If you are registered to vote and you have the right to vote, we should exercise that act because it's the most basic of our civic duties to do
Correct.
as a citizen of any nation. But to take pride in that.
Yes.
I'd really encourage all of our fellow countrymen who can vote, do vote.
Yes.
Yan. And May,
Get to know your roots.
get
You
to
never
know
go.
your roots. I like that one.
Yeah,
Get
you'll
to
never
know
go
your
wrong.
roots. That's a very, very good line.
It's nice to know that you belong in something. Like of course you belong in the UK, but you belonging in the Philippines is a very different feeling. Like like when you see someone from the Philippines, hey, like kababayan.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, that's
like
right.
you be able try to learn your language.
Yeah.
Like Ate here is also
Ate Nina.
trying.
Yeah.
It's like maybe you're not very proud of Philippines right now because it's a very small country, but it is thriving. It is going to make it to one of the top countries, and I believe it. We just
Yeah.
need a leader who can actually do and take us there. So I think it's one of the things that we can do as a millennial is actually taking part of it, actually being wanting to be part of Philippines,
That's right.
being a Filipino, raise your flag as they say.
Yes.
So yeah.
And Nina, by the way, Nina has a very good, two beautiful daughters, no? And how old are they, Nina?
They're 12 and 5 years old.
12 and 5 years old. Ayan. They're the next generation.
They are next
I don't
generation.
know when is the next generation. But I think, yes, next generation. So would you like to add more about that?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes. Laging natin ipagmalaki na tayo ay Pilipino. At one thing to be proud of being a Filipino is masisipag tayong tao.
Yeah.
At kaya tayo nagkalat sa buong sulok ng mundo because we are very hardworking people. At malaki ang takot natin sa Diyos. Yan ang meron tayo. And we love our family. So sa lahat ng mga Filipino, lagi ko sinasabi na proud ako na Filipino ako, and lagi ang sinasabi ko may mission sa itong buhay natin ngayon, this timeline is also bilang Pilipino, kailangan maging maganda kang ehemplo wherever you are, at work, at the family, with the community, the Filipino community, and other community as well. You have to set as a good example, and that after the rest will be history. When you start being good, I think lahat yun, cover yun lahat ng pagiging ng tao, wherever you are, nasa work ka, nasa pamilya ka, at hanggang sa pagpili mo nga ng leader mo, at kahit wala ka sa sarili mong bansa, we are, sabi ko, proud tayo na mayroon tayong narating. And hopefully, I'm wishing everybody na let's vote wisely. Vote wisely. And don't listen to left and right. Listen to your heart, and also do it. Checklist, sabi nga,
Parang kanta yan, listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart. It's very important. And
Yeah.
kasi meron tayong kanya-kanyang mga napupusukan. Also, one more thing, please do respect the opinion and whoever yung napupusuan ng kapwa mo, even sa sariling pamilya mo, respetuhin po natin ang kung sino man ang gusto nilang leader na maging at iboboto. Wala tayong karapatan na to dictate somebody, even your own husband or your own mother. You know, we have our own, sabi ko nga, own belief and mindset, whoever, you know.
So, so basically we need to assess and evaluate and be objective to, you know, to whatever we're going to do, you know, kasi obviously, as Nina said, it is our own opinion that matters. You know?
And wag kalilimutan, for you to be able to vote, kailangan dual citizen.
Yes.
Mag-dual citizen and know your roots,
Yes.
where you came from.
And even here, okay, you need to make sure as well that you participate your civic rights in the United Kingdom, because we are here too, not only in the Philippines but also in the United Kingdoms. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I think marami pa tayong pag-uusapan tungkol sa Millennial Talks.
Yes.
But later on, we have a very special guest. Isa rin siya sa mga millennials.
Noon.
Oo. Ay, ano na siya ngayon?
Ngayon, ano na siya?
Milyonaryo na siya.
Oo, milyonaryo na siya. Hindi na millennials, milyonaryo na siya.
Millennials.
Oo.
Para magka-rhyme pa rin eh. Millennials,
Milyonaryo.
milyonaryo.
Alright,
Diba?
okay.
Pwedeng-pwede.
Yeah. And
Para sa roles of Sian, abangan po
yes,
natin yan.
abangan po natin. And the good thing about our panelists as well is not only that they have, that they are successful in their own rights dito sa United Kingdoms,
Yes.
but they're also successful in the Philippines, because they have their charity or organizations. You know, I know Igor Chuke and also Nina, and obviously our young one who's trying to do
Yeah.
very, very good.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course. So maraming salamat sa mga nag-effort na Miss May Jens Umayan. Thank you. I'm sure your parents are very proud of you.
Yes.
Yeah, and we wish you all the very best. Okay. And of course, si
And
April,
yes.
the
Yes.
businesswoman. I
Yes.
think we have businesswoman here. Mga
Yeah, both of them.
businesswoman.
Yes.
Oo.
Yes.
And April,
Boss CEO ng kanilang kumpanya, ha?
ako CEO din ako
Pero hindi ka millennials, sila millennials sila.
Oo nga pala,
Ayun.
no? Lumagpas na ako dun sa overqualified.
Overqualified.
Okay, thank you very much, April, for your time.
Yes.
And we wish you all the very best as well. And we
Yes.
hope to see you again.
Yes.
At marami pa tayong pag-uusapan. I hope you understand me. And of course, Nina Reyes. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
Anytime, yeah. Oo.
Yes.
Maraming salamat, Tindera sa Inglaterra. Thank you
Oo.
very much.
And she's also an artist.
Oh, yes, artist. My
Yes.
goodness.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Nina.
And thank you very, very much, ladies.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
And yan, so, wag po kayo nga alis, tutok lang, mga kababaihan.
Yes.
At sila'y umalis na.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But it's okay. Thank you so
Kami
much,
na lang,
ladies.
kami lang
At
nadalawan.
abangan ninyo, the rolls, parang cinnamon rolls,
The rolls of sea. Oo.
With, of course, our very own Miss Carol Panday.
Yes. Ayan.
Okay, thank you.
Ayan. So,
Kaya,
okay, so
umalis ako ng Pilipinas para mapaganda ang buhay ng pamilya ko. Mabigat man sa loob ko, tiniis ko ang lahat ng hirap at pagod para sa mga minamahal ko. Ngunit, napapawi naman ang lahat ng ito tuwing nakikita ko silang nakangiti at masaya. Lalo na't kapag natatanggap na nila ang bunga ng aking paghihirap. Pakiramdam ko, napapalapit na ako sa pamilya ko gaano man sila kalayo. Napadali ito nang mahanap ko ang mapagkakatiwalaan kong kababayan. Ang kababayan na laging nandyan tuwing kailangan, handang tumulong sa panahon ng paghihirap. At ang pinakamahalaga sa lahat, may pusong Pilipino. At dahil dito, sigurado akong makakarating sa pamilya ko ang perang pinag-ipunan at pinaghirapan ko. Salamat, Kabayan Remit!
okay. Sandali, saan ba yung camera ko, James? Ayan, okay. Nagbabalik po ang Halalan 2022 at ngayon, nakasama nyo kanina ang mga millennials. Ngayon, ang isang kagalang-galang na may linya na sa noo, pero talaga naging milyonaryo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Romy Ramos! Tito Romy, ganda ng introduction ko. Dapat more sponsor. Joke lang. Tito, to ka sa kabila para may social distancing ko, no? Okay. Ayan. Okay, ito po ay kauna-unahang mangyayari. Dahil hinamon namin lahat ng mga grupo ng mga nangangampanya at talaga namang matapang na nag-forward ang mga kakamping. Tama naman. Okay. Tito Romy, bati muna sa mga nanonood, sa mga fans mo.
Sa umpisa po, unang-una po ay nagpapasalamat ako sa Britanya ngayon in organizing this event para po tayo magkaroon ng idea sa ating kung sino po ang iboboto natin. Pangalawa po, let me introduce myself. Ako po si Mr. Romeo Ramos. Dumating po ako sa Inglaterra noong 1977. Katulad po rin ninyo, nag-search tayo ng magandang buhay. With all hard work, saka help ng aking wife, we become very successful for what we are doing. And in the future, of course, once na after the election, we are more project na gagawin sa Philippines.
Oh, ayan. Okay, Tito Romy, eto ha, parang fast talk lang to. So ladies and gentlemen, Tito Romy is openly campaigning to the public that he stand for one of the presidential candidate, which is Leni Robredo. Tito Romy, first question.
Sige po.
Sadali lang. Okay. Bakit si Leni ang dapat naming iboto?
Dahil po si Leni ay napakaganda po ng record, napakalinis, wala po tayong makikitang masama na nagawa niya. At kahit na po siya hindi politika, wala siya sa politika noong panahon niya na she's only an ordinary housewife. Tumutulong na sa mga laylayan ng ating kababayan natin sa probinsya. At siya po talaga ay napakalinis kahit saan ko tignan eh. Actually, sinerch ko yung kanyang pangalan, ano ang kanyang mga achievement, and what kind of person she is. And so unbelievable. It's so immaculate ang kanyang
Wow,
record.
parang immaculate conception. Okay, Tito, first question. Sabi natin, yung si Leni nanggaling siya o bago siyang tumakbong kandidato ngayon na pagiging presidente, of course
Opo.
naging vice president siya ng
Opo.
bansang Pilipinas.
Opo.
Bago siya mag-vice president, she works as a congresswoman. Okay, bilang isang kongresista, how would you define or how would you describe Leni that really she will deserve our vote?
Yes. First of all po, before I answer your question, bago po naging congresswoman si Vice President Leni Robredo, talaga pong tumutulong na sa mga mahihirap. At ang kanya pong namayapang husband, si Jesse Robredo, na pumanaw na unfortunately, 3 times pong mayor sa Naga. Pero sila po'y nakatira po sa ordinary apartment hanggang ngayon.
Hanggang ngayon?
Opo, nakatira sa ordinary apartment. Tapos ang kanila pong bahay sa Manila, sa Quezon City, is ordinary condo. Nakatira. Di naman po sa pag-ano, mayroon ako mas magandang kondo doon sa kanilang tinitirhan. So makikita mo wala kang corruption. Okay, let me tackle the question. Nung siya po maging congresswoman, first, let me tell you the education muna ni Leni G. Robredo.
O Tito, huwag masyadong mahaba
Hindi po mahaba. Siya po ay tapos po siya ng economics, master, at tapos po siya ng law. So she's a lawyer and she's economics as well. And secondly, nung siya maging congresswoman, nanalo siya landslide. Ang dami pong yung mga kalaban niya talaga namang bigatin, no? Walang tumutulong sa kanya. Nanalo siya ng landslide. That's unbelievable. Ang mga naipasa niyang batas ay napakadami po.
Yeah, oo. Ano sa mga napakarami niyang batas na isinulat o ipinasa, ano sa tingin niyo ang pinaka-importante na nakakaapekto sa ating mga kababayan lalo na nasa ibang bansa?
Yes.
Ang isa po sa mga batas na naipasa po ni Vice President Leni Robredo nung siya nasa Kongreso pa ay Tax Incentives Management and Transparency Act.
Yeah.
Ito po ay naipasa at naging law. Unfortunately po, may mga
Ito yung-
kandidato na
yung- oo,
ay
yung-
magbayad ng proper tax.
Oo, Tito, ito
po
yung,
makakatulong sa atin.
yung sinasabi na talagang transparent ang government. You can ask any information
Yep.
if you want to. So it has become a law
It has
authored
become a
by Lenny Robredo.
Siya po ang author and siya po ang sponsor at nakapasa po yan sa Congress.
Oo. Tito, kasi napag-uusapan sa mga presidential election na kinonduct ng SMNI, ni Boy Abunda, ni Jessica Soho, malapit ang puso daw ni Lenny sa mga OFW.
Opo.
Okay,
Totoo po yan.
yung statement niya, the reason why we are here, because it's a matter of necessity, it should be a matter of choice, not a necessity. And that really has an impact with sa ating mga OFW.
Opo, totoo
How
yan.
would you expound on this, on Lenny's platform of government?
I think first nagpo-propose siya sa isa sa kanyang mga agenda if she become president na magkakaroon po tayo, first of all, yung magkakaroon po tayo ng insurance.
Okay.
Yeah. Na para pag tayo nawalan ng trabaho. Ito, it comes to the Philippines din. It
Okay.
comes, pareho rin po sa UK na we will have insurance. Pag nawalan tayo ng trabaho, of course, the insurance will pay for our lost wages. Yun po ang maganda. Kasama po yan ng Philippines. Ang OFW po, ganun din po.
Oo. Kasi actually, di ba, Lenny, during the time of Jesse Robredo, they started that in Naga. So
Tama,
they have
tama
a
po
hub
yan.
for
Oo.
OFW.
Oo.
So I think Lenny wants to replicate that and make it in a bigger perspective, like, not only in Naga, but also the whole
The
of
whole country. Yeah.
the Philippines.
Yeah.
So, Tuito, kung may mga question from the audience or online, please let us know. O kasi magpatuloy natin, Tito Romy. Yung sinasabi niyang ang pangingibang bansa ay talagang choice mo.
Opo.
Okay. So ikaw ba, sabi mo you came here 1977.
7.
I was barely, 6 years old. Okay. Yung nung panahon mo, was it a choice or it's a matter of a necessity?
I think it's a matter of necessity. First of all, because I came from the very poor family, life is so difficult. I experienced the martial law time. I was teenager at the time. I think I was probably about 13 to 14 years old at the time when martial law was declared. And early in the morning, they bang our door. The military will take us out from our house. My parent, my dad, myself, my brother. We all lay down on the floor, on the street, and one at that time, they're checking on us. But we are an ordinary citizens. Why do we have to go through to this kind of
Ordeal.
ordeal?
Yeah.
So it's just too much.
Kasi, Dito Robbie, kasi sa ibang bansa, if you are part of the affluent family and everything is in chaos, you're the first target. Pero sabi mo nga, you are nobody.
Yeah.
But still, they're checking on you.
They're checking on
So
us.
you experienced that thing during the
I did
martial law.
experience that. I did experience to queue to get to buy a 1 kilo price everywhere in Metro Manila. I experienced as well that yung gasera po, the one
Yeah,
you
yung
pump to cook.
binobomba, oo,
Yeah, to
oo.
cook.
Alam ko pa
My
yun.
goodness, I have to queue for hours. My dad have to go to other side, other part of the city. I have to go to the other part of the city. My brother will do the same thing, and my mother will do the same thing. It is very, very heartbreaking. And at the end of the day, we didn't even get not even 1 liter of gas.
Okay.
So that's very,
So,
very bad. Yeah.
Tito Romy, sa na-experience mo and you came here into the UK because of necessity, how would you see Lenny as your, ideal president that could eliminate this kind of poverty in the Philippines?
Madali po yan because Lenny Robredo have a very clear vision what she have to do in our country. Marami siyang agenda, proposal in the pipeline that she will implement to improve the living of our countrymen and women. Lenny Robredo po is the best. First of all po, tignan po natin, ang dami pong umi-endorso kay Lenny Robredo. Never mind about myself because I live in the UK eh. Yung pong mga taga-Philippines, they actually endorsing Lenny Robredo. United Kingdom endorsing Lenny Robredo. The European Union endorsing Lenny Robredo. So what we are thinking, are we just going to ignore this kind of endorsement from well and intellectual and rich country? They want to
Okay.
help us.
Okay. So magandang point yun. Sabi ni Mr. Ramos, Lenny got a lot of endorsement from these people whom we can rely on at may integridad. Okay, go back to Lenny, Tito Robbie. One of the achievement of Lenny is that she was awarded and recognized in Thailand for her project about women. So is there anything that you can see that Lenny wants to propose to strengthen the Filipino women across the world?
I think yes, hindi ko na follow yun sa Thailand, unfortunately hindi ko na follow. But my opinion po, because of her very good vision in governance, being a vice president, she is actually, sa COA lang very very 100% ang rating niya. There's no corruption, very clear agenda. Para ma-empowerment ang woman siguro, marami siyang gagawing gabinete. Para maisulong ang agenda ng mga kababaihan.
So is that mean na talagang dapat maraming women ang ma-involve sa politics o sa good governance? But anyway, Tito Romy, sabi kasi last slide, but we can still extend, okay? So mamaya tatawagin namin yung mga millennial panelists, okay? So ayan, Tito, may question na. Sino may question from the audience? Oh, let's hear it from our very own Babu Gamboa.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, sa Tito Romy,
Opo.
unless there's any question
Nawala
from
na.
the audience. Nawala. But anyhow, Tito Romy, kasi one thing that really bothers me, how come you told us about your experience under the martial law? You were a martial law, not really a baby, but perhaps you're a martial law
Teenager at the time.
teenager at the time.
Yeah.
How come this memory seemed to have vanished? How short-lived it is? Ngayon, hindi na naalala eh. Even I myself, I was a martial law baby. I experienced it myself.
Tama po.
Honestly,
tama.
honestly, because we come from a political family,
Yeah.
hindi ko nga lang nakakwento.
Opo.
But I might say it could even be equally worse.
Yeah.
Why do you
Anong
think?
tanong, Babo?
Ano ba ang nangyari? What
Hanggang ngayon.
seemed to have been the problem? Nawala ito.
Kasi po, the Philippines at that time, we are in dark days because of martial law. One family ruling the country. I was high school at the time, and then there's a disruption in our education. Marcos and his cronies really plundering the country to the core. And I'm telling you, without my auntie living in the UK, she sometimes sent us 100 pounds, 50 pounds, 20 pounds. We go all the way down to Makati to pick up that kind of money. It's so important to us. Without my auntie helping us, we are in the dire straits. That's why I remember everything about martial law.
Okay. So ang naging magandang lang nito, no, sa'yo, Tito Romy. So when you experience those kind of things, so na talaga nagsumikap ka makapag-abroad.
Opo, totoo po yun.
And now, sa buhay mo ngayon, that you are here in the United Kingdom, do you also have projects in the Philippines in line with what Lenny has been doing to alleviate poverty, to help the poor and the needy?
Opo, if she will become president, God willing po, maging presidente siya, and I so hope so. I think my company will communicate with her, whoever's in charge of the economy.
Yeah.
And what we are thinking is help the agriculture in our country.
Yes.
To export our vegetables, our fruits in Europe, kasi meron naman tayong idea how to bring it in UK, and of course the rest of Europe we can do it.
Okay.
So para makatulong.
Okay, Kuya Tito Romy. Halimbawa lang, may tanong pa, Babu?
Yun na nga, tinatanong ko. Hirapan ako.
Ito si Babu, comedy, no?
Hindi.
Ano?
Kasi sa namin, di ba, hindi ka na-decide kung ano yung question nila.
Kung ano yung question nila.
Anybody from the audience, please?
May tanong from online?
Sige po. Okay, direct
Sige, si Lord Lori.
Hello po, bossing.
Yun naman.
Nakampig po yan,
Yung plataforma po, coming from, my family is really from Bicol, pero hindi kami solid na talagang And I met the late Jessie Robredo.
Anong tanong?
Ang vision po kasi ni Lenny, ni Vice President Lenny, regarding the OFWs is to help, especially dun sa kanila, na they are initiating all these projects para mabawasan ng pag-alis ng mga
Tama
Pilipino po yun. And they will provide livelihoods. Anong proyekto or anong programang ipinangako ni VP Vice President Lenny Robredo para mabawasan na ang pag-alis ng mga Pilipino papunta sa ibang bansa po?
Yung pong question na yan ay napakalaki. Ano po ba ang ating Vice President promises? Ang promises po ng ating Vice President talaga namang for the whole country, na para tayo po'y matulungan. can you imagine, if you remember way back last year, nagkukyo ang mga tao sa pagkain. Minumura tayo ng present government. Mahirap kayo, mamatay kayo ng gutom. How can you say that to your people? Kaya si Lenny Robredo po, ang ating only chance na makabangon sa ating pong kinalalagyan.
Tita, ano yung slogan ni Lenny Robredo?
Ang slogan po nila
Lori,
Vice President Lenny Robredo po ay gobyernong tapat, angat, buhay lahat.
Okay.
Yun po.
Because according to Lenny, if we have a good governance, poverty can be eliminated and success and progress will be at hand. I think that's the main point of Lenny.
Isa pa po na idudugtong ko lang. No? Kung napapanood ninyo yung mga rally ni Lenny G. Robredo po, sa Cebu, Iloilo, lately sa Iloilo lang, sa Quezon City, matatats ka po. Ako po, nakabase ako sa UK. Hindi po ako politically motivated person, pero nakikita ko po ang nangyayari sa bansa natin. We need help. We need to help our country. We need to support the right candidate. Naiiyak po ako. Nung pong siya'y nagtatalumpati, ang nakikita po yung mga tao, merong tao na disabled, nasa wheelchair. He was going to the Quezon City. The other person, one leg lang siya. He was actually walking early in the morning just to listen
to listen to Lenny.
Unbelievable. Maiyak ka po.
Okay. Yes, one more question. Amy, Babu?
Ito is from online, okay, sa anonymous. Ayaw naman nila magpakilala.
Opo.
Pero Tito Romy, the question is, you were talking about the past.
Opo.
You were talking about what happened to you in the past. So what's the relevance of the past and today's candidate? Because there's a saying that we need to move forward. Kasi pag binabalikan natin lahat ang nakaraan daw, according to pag binabalikan mo nakaraan, hindi ka mag-move forward. So bakit kailangan balikan ang nakaraan? Tapos na yung nakaraan, alam natin, di po ba?
Opo.
So bakit nyo daw binabalikan palagi ang nakaraan?
Napakaganda pong question yan.
The past.
Sa online po, napakaganda pong question yan. Let me explain po sa inyo. Tayo pong mga tao, natututo po tayo sa ating past experience. Nalalaman natin ang mga nakaraan, kung paano po tayo naging marangal, kung paano tayo nagsumikap sa ating kabuhayan. Bakit po natin binabalikan ang past? Kasi po, yun po namang anak ay kumakandidato ng maging presidente. Hindi man lang nag-apologize. Pinapahirapan ng judiciary to refund yung mga perang ninakaw. Come on. Tapos,
Tito, sabi mo hindi nag-apologize. Paano ko nag-apologize? Okay na?
Baka i-consider ko pa pag nag-apologize at i-refund ang pera. Oo, para sa ganun ay totoo kang tao. No? Hindi ka nga nagbabayad ng tax ng 3 taon tapos kakandidato ka.
So, okay, I think,
Ang tanong ko lang po,
Madam.
Sige po.
ako po si Rose Uy.
Opo.
Ang patanong ko lang po, bakit po sa tagal-tagal ng panahon, wala pong napapatunayan na si Marcos ay magnanakaw? Ang asawa ko, Presidential Guard, dati ni President Marcos, noon ho galit ako. Pero sa ngayon, natuto po ako at binago ninyo lahat ang mga ng tao, kahit ang yung mga heroes ng dati natin na nawala. So, ano ho ang pagbabago ang gusto ninyo? Yung bang past po ba? Wala ba tayong forgiveness?
Okay,
Hindi tayo
Tita.
makapag-move
Thank
on?
you for that very nice question.
Ina tayo makapag-move on kung ano nangyari ngayon. Bakit lagi nila gano'n ang gano'n? Wala na tayong katapusan sa gayon.
Oo. Marami daw mga, ano ba sa Tagalog yon? Maraming mga sinasabi about yung mga kaso niya, pero wala naman daw napatunayan. O ano masasabi mo doon? Lahat naman daw ng kaso, drama, Tita?
Napaka... let me answer
Sige, Tita,
po yung question.
let him answer the question. Okay, Tita, let him answer the question.
Ate, let me answer your question po. Napakaganda po ng question nyo.
Opo.
Hindi po everyday na... almost
muna.
yung pong mga supporter po ni Marcos ay talaga pong naniniwala sa revisionism. Binabago po ang istorya ng ating bansa. Dahil po sa dami po, binabago po. Iba po. Let me answer po. Baka naman
alam mo, Tita, mamaya kung gusto nyo, walang away lang, pero mamaya baka gusto nyo mag-usap, okay?
Opo. Para maliwanagan.
Magkakaibigan tayo.
Kasi po ang ating pong history po itself ay nakatatak na yan sa ating bayan. Kahit po anong gawin ng mga Marcoses, katulad po niyan, how many trolls ang binabayaran nila na ma-mislead po ang istorya natin, na baguhin. Come on po, tumanda na po tayo. Tapos tumatanda pa po tayo ng hindi po nakakaunawa
Okay.
na anong nangyayari sa ating bansa.
Tama yan, Tito. Ngayon, ganito. Tatawagin natin ulit yung mga millennials natin, ha? And then, siguro mamaya pag pinatawag ko na. Sandali lang. Isang last question na lang kay Tito Romy bago natin tawagin ang mga millennials.
Opo.
Sige. A question from one of our panelists. Sige, go, May.
Hello. I don't really know a lot about everything yet. Pero just one question po. Why should you put the blame to the son of the mistake of the father? If proven true, why should you blame the son for the mistake of the father?
Let me answer
proven
you.
true lang.
Sige.
Let me answer you. Sinabi ko na po kanina yan eh. I already answered that na yung son, hindi po natin siya biniblame dun sa fault ng father. Ang sinasabi po natin nung sa anak niya, come on man, why don't you apologize for what happened? Why don't you allow the Philippine government to recover all the wealth that your family stole from the Filipino people? Why don't you do this? Apologize and tell the Filipino people, I am sorry for what my father have done.
Okay.
That is
I'm sorry talaga, Tito,
that is
ha?
a clear apologize, and then perhaps mababago din ang isip ko. Di ba?
O, Tito, to close this, bago tawagin ng mga millennials, no?
Bakit daw, yung mga,
Yung ano?
Yung mga walang napatunayan. Ang dami na po napatunayan sa court na nagnakaw. Hindi lang po sa Philippine government, even in the US government po. Bongbong Marcos cannot even go back to America for the last 25 years.
Okay. So, Tito, ganito ang gagawin natin. Halimbawa lang, lahat tayo concerned sa bansang Pilipinas. Kung hindi manalo ang kandidato mo, susuporta ka ba sa nanalo?
Kung pong si Marcos po ang mananalo, hindi. Hindi po ako mag-i-invest.
Tito naman.
Hindi po ako mag-i-invest. Hindi. Kasi makikita ko naman ipa-plunder ang country. At the moment, ang Pilipino po ay nakaluhod na. Nakaluhod na po ang Pilipino sa utang na ginawa ni Duterte. Gusto pa ba natin na mataas ang floor na talagang we cannot get up anymore?
Okay. Ayan ha. O tatawagin na natin mga millennials. Thank you, Tito Romy. Just stay there. Can we call all the millennials? Thank you,
po.
Mr.
Thank you.
Ramos.
Wala pong...
wala
na po, opinion lang natin to.
Okay. May we call on Averil? Take your post here. Thank you, Tito Romy.
I have to go now?
Actually, you can stay here kasi mag-out na tayo eh.
Okay.
Yeah, can you stay there? Ayan, mag-blacking lang tayo. Come on, all the Averil and Nina.
know we're missing today. Okay.
No, I just...
Nina, sit at the middle. Okay. So we will be sharing Rafa, Babu, let's go at the back. Hi, thank you.
May
Okay. May I think move there because Amy can sit here. So Amy here. Okay. So kasi we still have few questions for the millennials. Amy, do you have more question for them bago tayo mag-end?
Yes.
Okay.
Just the last question. I do not know if the last question is, if the millennials, if you're given an opportunity to work with the Filipino community here in the UK or in the United Kingdom, here in the UK or in the Philippines, what would be the issue or issues that you would like to address, and program you would like to implement for the enhancement of this said community, the Filipino community? So,
April, would you like to answer that?
So right now we do work on a program for the undocumented migrants here in the Philippines. We've during the pandemic, we were able to offer pop-up vaccine clinics for those who were undocumented because they didn't have access to NHS numbers and they weren't registered with the GP. So knowing that our church, through my community and the UK community, we were able to work with Barts Health, NHS England, and our local authority, Waltham Forest, to create these pop-up vaccine clinics in Leytonstone. We vaccinated over 200 undocumented migrants, and they have been having access now to GPs, which they would never have had in the past.
That's good, yeah.
In the Philippines, if there was a program that I would work on in the Philippines, is to really encourage the renewable energy of the Philippines, because I know that the country is full with resources of renewable energy. I think it goes beyond any political mandate. I think everybody we'd get behind that. Well, that's something that I would definitely encourage our government.
Wow. She'd be the next presidential
Oo,
candidate.
next presidential candidate na tayo.
Yeah, of course, Nina. But
Nina,
what can you say about that
project.
project?
For me,
You're an artist, remember?
yes, because I am born artist. That's my
Yeah.
first love. Before I became a business woman in here in Deres, Inglaterra, my first love is art. So I am here in England now, and I'm doing art exhibition. Started from 2020. I'm the first Filipina. Joined with 30 international artists, and we had it in the Brooklyn Gallery, and to be followed on Barcelona. I'm the only Filipina as well. And now in there's approaching one. There's an invite from Venice, Italy, this May. So me, if given a chance, in this generation, I want to really have the community or the art of the artist to guide the younger generation, to boost their self-esteem, to be because you need someone as a mentor for them to mold this generation, to nurture them. I believe that there's someone a leader who loves their craft, and who's very proud of what the talent that God given to them. So I think, as if given a chance, my prayer here is art, and having an exhibition also in here. Yeah, so that's my dream. Like kids, I want to do like summer workshop, and in the Philippines, I'm opening a door. Actually, may binubuo akong foundation na para sa akin sa Millennial, under me, na lahat ng art materials and the workshop. And my dream is, my dad is an artist. From my dad, my brother, my family in the Philippines, kami yung tutulong sa mga bata na libreng artworks at libreng exhibition na buong Bataenyo bubuin namin para mabigyan ng konting puwang. At yung these are the things na neglect ng dating lahat sometimes. So for me, that's
Okay.
Thank you.
So
How
if-
about May?
So
Simple and sweet.
if I were given a chance,
Simple and sweet.
so if I were given a chance, I would want to implement a program that would really support Filipino business startups. So I feel like in the Philippines, we tend to want to put flowers in, when foreigners come to make businesses and build businesses. Not because we're not tearing us apart, because Filipinos tend to do that. We need to bring it.
Can I say something regarding the millennials? Very short lang po na advice lang. Yung pong all the millennials, please do not depend your knowledge in TikTok and YouTube. Always Google it. Always, iba naman yung TikTok ninyo eh. Always, i-Google po ninyo. Ako po kanina, ginugol ko lang. Kung ano nagawa ni Lubredo. At ginugol ko rin kung anong nagawa ni BBM. Unfortunately, wala eh. This is Google, no? I-Google po ninyo. Huwag kayong maniniwala. Mag-Google lang kayo. Google it. Check it out. Papa Millennial.
Go lang tayo.
Opo.
Kaya sinasabi na ni Tito Romy, dapat talaga alamin ang katotohanan,
Tama po.
mag-research, magbasa, huwag lagi mag-TikTok at mag-live. Okay? Sige.
Okay, Carol.
Ano? Okay, maraming salamat na tayo. Anyway, in behalf of Britannia, Avril, do you have one last message? I mean, batiin nyo lang, kahit mga 5 seconds lang. Shout out. Let's start, Avril.
5 seconds. 5 seconds.
Everybody, exercise your right to vote. Thank you.
Let's add on.
Tito, your mic.
My company and her company, I work together.
Oh.
We're working together as well. We have a few projects.
Something
as well.
That's good. That's Nina.
Okay, always be proud that you are Filipino and practice the pagiging mabuting tao.
That's right.
Oh, that's good.
And May?
May?
Some things that had been said already. Do not tear each other's opinions.
Okay.
Respect
That's it.
others.
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Hindi na ako.
Muna tayo.
Pasalamat tayo technical directors, Ed, James, and Aris, di ba? Aris. And of course,
Artistahin.
Tinel
Artistahin.
and Glory. Thank you to Kilburn Philcham community. Oh, Filipino community.
Community, yes.
Pinlon.
Pinlon, yes.
And of course, Tindera sa Inglaterra.
And of course, Milagrosa.
Oh, ay, of course.
Milagrosa.
Ay, by the way, may revelation ako. I have a student here. Raymond Nasalia! Grabe.
Guwapo.
Okay. Yeah. Grabe, parang tumatanda na. Ang estudyante ko nandito, tapos yung StreamYard director natin, estudyante ko yan. Hi, Juicy! Nagkaabutan na kami. Okay. So maraming salamat Tito Romy, Tita Lee for coming over. Everybody who give their time.
Yes.
Okay? So, sa mga sponsors, Busy Remit.
Boston Management Corporation.
Siyempre ang Milagrosa.
Milagrosa.
Siyempre, and Rich and Pinoy Mart.
And Phil Jury, and of course, Tindera sa Inglaterra.
At
Kabayan Remit. Okay.
Ang Gamboa Pinoy Tours.
Oo, sige na. Gamboa Pinoy Tours.
At meron po tayong pakapi dyan.
Pakape. Okay, let's go.
Mapait, matamis na.
Okay.
Gawa po ni
Leg. Ano ba? Okay. O, sige na. At dito nagtatapos ang isa namang episode ng Britanya ngayon sa aming layunin na maging maingat tayo sa pagpili ng ating iboboto at sa mga kabataang nagpahayag ng kanilang opinyon, may pabaon sa ating aral upang mamulat tayo sa katotohanan at sa realidad ng buhay. Ako po si Carol Panday.
Okay. Marami tayong narinig at pinakinggan, pero sa huli, it is our own assessment that matters.
Yeah.
Kaya po, all resources that we heard
Yes.
or receive
Should contain.
yes,
Tama lang
should
yun.
contain
Bravo.
provenance, okay? Relevance, objectivity, method, presentation, and timeliness
Haba
of this information so we can evaluate fairly and justly. At sa darating na halalan, kapayapaan ang aming hangad, aral ng buhay ang nais naming ibahagi sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Amy Baliao.
Right.
Taas mo.
Taas mo.
We're not done yet.
Okay, go.
Ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. Ang boses ninyo naway umalingaw-ngaw
Maalingaw na.
upang ang hatid na aral ay maipaabot
Yes.
sa maraming bilang ng mga Pinoy sa Britanya. Lahat tayo may gusto ihalal pero hindi dapat humantong sa di pagkaunawaan. Kalma lang mga kababayan. Cool. Babu Gamboa.
Bahagi ang mga millennials sa kabuang bilang ng mga Pinoy sa buong mundo. Nawa, magsilbi kayong inspirasyon sa amin at sa darating pang salinlahi. Ako po, si Rapa Rapa.
Rafa, talagang pangkapaabang-abang yan. Ang kwento ninyo, kwento din namin na naganap sa magkaibang henerasyon. Pero hindi ito parason para di tayo magkaunawaan. Maging tulay, nawa kayo ng pagkakaisa upang upang bansang Pilipinas ay babangon tungo sa tagumpay ng ating lipi. Pilipinas naming mahal, ako si Susan Pelaez Robinson.
Sabay po tayo.
Para sa Britanya ngayon, laban lang!
Thousands of protesters as the great COVID
Ang programang magbibigay daan upang talakayin ang mga isyong may kinalaman sa ating karapatan bilang mga Pinoy sa Britanya. Kwentong nagpapalakas ng loob at bubuhay ng bawat pangarap upang ang tagumpay ay makamtan tungo sa magandang kinabukasan.
Mga balita at kwentong kapupulutan ng aral na magsisilbing gabay para sa ating mga kababayan. Legal na usapin, hihimayin upang lubos na manawaan, tamang gabay maaring mailaan.
Balitang walang kikilingan, bawat isa magkakaroon ng boses sa dapat pakinggan, mga isyong dapat masolusyonan. Mga usaping pilit iniiwasang pag-usapan at harapin, sisikapin naming abutin sa ngalan ng katotohanan, pagkakaisa at kapayapaan.
Mga kwentuhang pakikipagkapwa-tao, pagtutulungan at pagkakaisa, bilang mga Pinoy sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Britanya, bayanihan at kumustahang magbibigay inspirasyon sa ating mga kababayan.
Ganda ng buong Britanya ang hatid namin sa inyo. Pasyalang kagigiliwan, kwentong simple, pero kapupulutan ng aral. Biyahe, lakwatsa, at kwentuhan, tiyak mag-e-enjoy kayo.
Iba't ibang kwento ng buhay, nais naming isalaysay na aral ng buhay ang tangi naming inaasam.
Sa bawat larangan, angat kakabayan, talino at galing ng Pinoy, hinangaan at may magpangmalaki sa buong Britanya.
Mula sa salaysay ng bawat buhay, kwentong palasyo patungong paraiso, hatid namin ang saya, inspirasyon at galak sa lahat ng Pinoy sa buong Britanya.
Galing ng Pinoy sa mangdako ng mundo, nag-iwan ng marka sa larangan ng industriya.
Mula sa Pinoy, para sa Pinoy, sa Britanya.
Ako si Amy Baliao.
Babu Gamboa.
Carol Panday.
Rapa.
Susan Pelaez Robinson.
To ang Britanya ngayon,
Laban lang!